Peru Board of Public Works meeting, March the 2nd, 2021, called to order. Do you have a motion for reading and approval of minutes?
I'll make a motion we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the reading of the minutes as written. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims, this is for the February the 16th, when we were all snowed in and City Hall and everything was closed because of it being under the red, Miami County. $247,863.16 for February the 16th, 2021.
Make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Payment of claims, $247,863.16 for February the 16th, 2021. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll, $164,817.62 for February the 16th, 2021.
Make a motion we approve the regular payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the regular payroll, $164,817.62 for February the 16th, 2021. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Jumping ahead now to the week of February the 26th. Payment of claims, $278,043.05 for February the 26th, 2021.
Make a motion to accept the claims for payment on February 26, 2021.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the claims of $278,043.05 for February 26th, 2021. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll, $167,105.27
I'll turn it down.
for February the 26th, 2021.
Make a motion that we accept the regular payroll for February 26, 2021 as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Regular payroll, $167,105.27 for February the 26th, 2021. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Monthly payroll, $5,768.37 for February 26th, 2021.
Make a motion to accept the payroll for February 26, 2021.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Monthly payroll, $5,768.37. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Pension payroll, $88,101.22, February the 26th, 2021.
Make a motion we accept the pension payroll for February 26 as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to pay the pension payroll, $88,101.22 for February 26th, 2021. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on Next order of business. Susan, would you close that door, please, or, okay. Old business. The Tom Lennon tree issue that is on Shields, is it Shields?
Yeah, it's
believe
right there
it was.
next to his lot with the utility sheds,
Okay.
just off Broadway.
Have you went out and looked at that along with the street department?
Yes. Spoke with Adam Sheets of the street department, and our past policies have been that the city refrains from cutting viable trees, live trees, except absolutely necessary. That tree is off the roadway. It is in an easement type area where the city would have, if they needed to widen the street or something like that, but it's technically in a tree lawn. So according to Adam, the limbs are high enough that they're not impeding traffic, things like that. I mean, there are issues that eventually, the wind will blow some limbs down and things like that, but that becomes a homeowner issue and the neighbor issue. The city doesn't take care of those. If we did, we'd be cutting trees on every street that's hanging over the street, so.
So recommendations or?
I guess I'll make a motion that we do not grant the request for the city to get involved in cutting that tree.
Ron, I couldn't hear a lot of that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betsy.
Yeah.
I met
I
with,
couldn't really hear any of it.
okay, I met with Adam Sheets of the street department,
Okay.
and the
Okay.
past practices for the city is that we don't cut live viable trees unless absolutely necessary. And so when we looked at the tree, it appears to be a live tree. Of course, we'll look again once the budding starts and things like that to verify. The limbs are hanging over the road, and some of them are hanging over Mr. Lennon's property. But that becomes a neighbor issue. As far as the ones hanging over the road, there's trees throughout the city that are hanging over the road, so we don't cut those unless they become a traffic hazard. So it was his recommendation that the city doesn't take any action on that tree at this time. And I made a motion then to not grant the request for the city to be involved in cutting the tree.
Okay. I could hear you a lot better that time. Thank you.
I apologize. I'll speak up.
That's okay. I drove underneath that tree as well and went and looked at it. And to me, I did feel like if there was a bad storm or a lot of snow that it could cause some damage. I mean, it goes across the whole entire street. So I just was, thinking it was a safety issue, and also, a way to maybe help a small business owner out would be to either trim it up or take it out, just because I do feel like safety might be a concern with that tree.
According to the street department, and if you drive through anywhere in the city, we've got trees that are hanging over the roadway all over the place. And if we start cutting one, then of course, then we're going to have to do them all. So, and we just don't have that kind of manpower and budget for that. Now, that being said, if the homeowners want to cut them back and trim them back, they can. Now, if the tree turns out that it is dead or it has a big dead limb or something like that, we'll revisit that in the spring, and then the city would go down and take care of that.
Did you guys happen to talk to the homeowner?
Tried 3 times to talk to him. We never made any contact with him, so
Okay.
we're going to continue our efforts on that part of it.
Okay.
I'd like to make a statement, Betsy. The city ordinance on trees over roads and over sidewalks is, over roads, they have to be above 13 feet off the ground. The homeowner has to do the cutting if they're below 13 feet, and 7 feet on sidewalks, the homeowner takes care of that.
I got a question on this whole situation here. Is the city mows this property. The city maintains all this property. The lady has always been argumentative towards the city, and in fact, all the neighbors said the past administration had condemned this property. Whether it's on the condemned list now or not, it did have a placard on it saying it was condemned. And myself or any of the other neighbors are not getting any cooperation out of her. And it is losing big limbs. And I've had damage to some of my buildings that are on display. And at this point, I had talked to an attorney, and they said that is the city's right of way, and that is the city's problem on that tree. They said it is not even they actually went out and looked and said it's not even 3 feet off the road, and it's actually got the road heaved up from the ball of the tree. So, I mean, all I'm asking is for some help. I don't care that you guys cut the tree down, but can we at least, I mean, before I came to the Board of Works, Adam, I spoke to him, and he said it was not going to be a problem. And then I said, well, Adam, do you want me to go through the Board of Works or City Council? Because I've never dealt with this before. And he said, it probably wouldn't hurt to do that. He said, I would take care of it in the spring. But, I mean, I just need some help, guys. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not trying to be a pain about this, but I mean, I've spent a lot of money here, and when it comes down to it, I mean, the city's been paying to mow and maintain her property. So, I mean, do you guys want to continue at this point, I'm going to have to, if I keep having damage to buildings, I'm going to have to charge somebody for it. So.
Well, I talked to Adam, and he said the tree is alive, and they won't cut a live tree, just dead ones. I had the sign department that went out there this morning and come back in and told me, he said that the road isn't heaved up or being damaged, that he could see.
I mean, I'm here now. I can take pictures and send it to you video, and you can see that it is heaved up. I mean, every single neighbor, Mrs. Oosley and Mrs. Ray have said they have both contacted the city about it, and nothing's ever been done about it. And, and they said it's like beating the dog. He said, you just can't win. And I said, well, the only thing I can do is present it to you guys. So, I mean, if all I'm asking is please help us out here. You guys have made it clear to us that you reached out to the property owner 3 times and they're not responding. And you can look per Elevate that they don't mow their lawn and they don't maintain it and they don't respond to you guys. They pay just enough on their taxes that you guys don't take it from them. So something has got to be done.
Well, in response to the mowing, if we as a city have to mow it, they get billed for it. If they don't pay it, then it ends up going on the tax rolls. As far as the tree that's hanging over your property, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, he has every right to cut that himself. Is that correct, if it's hanging over his property?
Yeah.
Most certainly.
Okay. So, I mean, there's nothing that would prevent you from, contracting a tree service and having them come out there and cut all the limbs that are hanging over your property. She can't do it, the homeowner can't do anything about that.
I mean, are you going to put it in writing that I'm allowed to cut anything that's hanging over the street onto my property? Because I don't know.
Not the street, over your property.
Just your property line.
That's what I'm trying to say, Mayor, is that the tree limbs, it was struck by lightning last year, lost big limbs off of it. Whether you think it's dead or not, it loses limbs all the time, and you can see the pile of limbs that are out there that fall off that tree weekly. I mean, it just.
Well,
I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but from our point right now, safety-wise, it's been recommended that we do nothing with that tree at this time. Now, we are still going to continue to try and get with the homeowner, whether that means sending a registered letter or something like that and ask them to do something with it. But for right now, motion's been made not to cut the tree.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded not to cut the tree at this time.
Will you answer my question, though, back to me cutting it? I mean, are you guys going to put it in writing that I'm allowed to cut that?
I believe that's it.
That doesn't have to be in writing, that's the law.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do, Miles, with neighbors, it does have to be in writing. I'm not going to go.
If you get up there with a bucket truck and go to your property line and raise it right up, then if neighbors have a problem with that, they're going to be calling the police, and the police is going to fill them in. Whether you have a letter from us or not, that's the way the law works, and you will be able to cut even with your property line. Same
Okay,
way,
but what about-
same way if you have one of your neighbors that's trees hanging over the fence. You can come right up to the fence and cut it straight off at the property line of the fence there. And
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. The limbs that are hanging over the road would be considered the city property, right?
it'd be the city's property, correct?
Okay. So what I'm asking is to try to prevent from the, what if I paid to cut them flush with the road line on her side of the road? I'll pay for that is what I'm asking. If that's what it takes, I'll do it.
I will let the city attorney answer that one on what
Okay.
can happen.
If the owner goes after you, you could face potential liability. Or the chance, you gotta consider what the chances are of her actually doing something technically at her property and, but, yeah, the mayor's right. As far as the limbs coming over onto your property, you most certainly can cut limbs back off your own property.
Yeah, but my thing is the limbs that are hanging over the road are the ones that are becoming the issue, that are the big heavy weight that is falling on my property. So that's what I'm saying. That at that point, that's the city's property right there.
But it's really not. However, I think I can speak on behalf of the city. If you were to cut those, I don't think the city's going to do anything about it.
What if I was like driving underneath those tree limbs and it's already been expressed that
Tough luck.
there might be an issue with them? What if I was driving down the street underneath that tree and a big limb fell on my car or caused an accident?
Tough luck.
Considered an
That's
active-
happened before. It wouldn't be the first time, and anytime they try to turn it into our insurance immediately denies it.
I just, just because it's been brought up as a problem, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
we've got it on the record at the city, at the Board of Works meeting several times. I'm just saying, if I'm driving underneath it, and it just might be a problem, even bigger problem, because we tried to do something about it and nothing is getting done about it.
If it's determined that it's a dead limb hanging over, then we can.
Right. If it was found to be dead and actual posing a hazard itself because it's a dead limb, then potential liability. If it's been looked at and found that it's still a living tree.
And we're going to monitor it as the spring comes along. That's kind of
Right.
how we left it with Adam, that we would come monitor it. And if it turns out there is a big dead limb or something, we can take that off.
Right. But generally, the city would have no liability on that.
Okay, any
It's-
other discussion on that?
At the end of the day, the city has no obligation to maintain the trees inside the tree lawn. That still falls back on the homeowner.
So when they did the West Main Street project and the city took all the trees out of all the tree lawns, the homeowners didn't pay for that, nor did they have a choice. So how is this any different?
Because it's within our easement and we can go and cut any tree down within our easement.
Exactly.
But we don't have to. That's,
Okay, so
Yeah.
my biggest problem here is small businesses are needed in this town, and you guys aren't helping. I'm asking one simple thing. I'm willing to start to pay for part of it, and you guys are being zero help on this. And this is why businesses aren't coming to Peru.
Well, it's going to be checked on once they start budding out and stuff. You've already said that you're willing to pay for somebody to come in there and do it.
Exactly, but I need the city to grant that. I'm not going to just.
You
I'm not
got
going to
it
just come
now.
in and do it.
You're wanting to, you're wanting it in writing. It's not going to happen in writing. I'm telling you how it's going to happen. You call a tree trimmer in there, have it trimmed up. If there's a problem, the police will come out there and explain the law to whoever owns the tree and everybody around. You don't need written permission, Tom, to do something that's not against the law.
It's in Indiana code.
There's not a law, Miles, about cutting these trees. It does need to be. Well, what's the city attorney say about that? I guarantee it.
There's case
something needs to be in
law.
writing.
There's case law that supports being able to cut trees off, going over, hanging over, and encroaching on someone else's property. That's most certainly well established within case law. I don't know if there's an actual statute under the Indiana code or not that says, yes, you can cut a tree limb back, but when you go and diverge into the actual case law, and there might be a statute, I believe
There is a city
Ordinances.
ordinance on trees that specifies that the homeowner
What,
would have to cut them off the sidewalk 7 feet, and if
Yeah.
they're if they're below 13 feet on the road, the homeowner has to cut them back to 13 feet above ground.
right.
but what I'm saying, with it not costing the city one penny for me to do, even though I feel like you guys ought to be doing it, it's not costing you guys a penny. How hard would it be to have a letterhead from the mayor's office saying that it's all right to have a tree service to stop in the middle of the road and cut them limbs off?
We can't cut.
I mean, I can't just tie up a city street if there's an emergency down the road or something like that. I mean, I gotta have a letterhead of some sort. We all know how things go nowadays. It's always legal, you know.
Could we give him something saying that we're not opposed to him cutting them? We're not giving permission, but we're not opposed.
Well, you just gave me permission. You just gave me permission, Ron.
It's not,
No, you can cut the limbs that are hanging over your property, but you asked what happens if you cut them back to her side.
No, I'm asking you if I can. It's not gonna
And I
cost the city.
believe, I believe Dustin, the city attorney, said that potentially you could face civil action if you cut past over by her side. Am I
and
correct?
I think, Tommy, any limb that encroaches over your property, you are most certainly free to cut. Any limb that hangs over the street, which is not your property, which city property, city public right away, you have no right to cut those. If it's a safety.
But if Miles is saying it's fine, and you see
And
where
I
I'm
think
coming
that,
from?
well, the issue is, are you talking about limbs that are hanging over your property or limbs hanging over the street?
The limbs go over the road, and then they go over my property.
And
I'm
if
asking
you-
you
if
if
you
on
were-
not my side of the road, but the other side of the road, if we cut the limbs flush with that side of the road.
What I said, and if you played the tape back, you'll find out that you have every right at your property line to go straight up. Not back in the road, at your property line. I didn't give you permission to go in the road and cut them. I said you can set the truck there and cut everything level with your property line. Say that it comes straight up in the air.
And 3 games ago.
We have a motion in a second.
I mean, they are meant to pass, but I don't. Look at the picture. Mom, look at the picture of paint.
Somebody else talking?
Yeah, somebody else in the audience. Zoom,
Everybody, please mute your phone if you're not talking.
they did. Okay.
Okay, we've had a motion and second not to cut the tree at this time. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, under new business, request by Denise Bremer on behalf of the,
No. You need to amend the
oh,
agenda.
okay. Back up a minute.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend the agenda to include opening of the bids on the properties that were being auctioned off.
Second.
Okay, motion been made to amend the agenda to open the bids and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Lori,
Okay, ready? The first address is 483 Jackson Avenue. Bidder Craig Gallahan.
Craig?
Yes.
Yes.
Callahan?
Bid amount, $7,300. $355 West Sixth Street.
You say 6?
Yes. Richard. I'm not sure what the last name is. I can't read the writing.
Can you spell it?
No,
How about the first letter?
an F,
Smith?
nothing. Sorry. I can give you his mailing address so we can confirm that it's him. His address is 351 West Sixth Street.
351.
Yes.
Yeah,
West 6?
yeah.
Okay.
And the bid amount is $3,145.
I don't know if you guys heard, but somebody sent a message across, somebody from the public that's watching the meeting, they can't hear. I can't hear that well either.
Pull your mic a little closer.
And yes, you can see where someone had sent a message. I don't know who has access to.
It's right there up by you.
232
Yeah, it was Stephanie
Monroe
Graff.
Avenue.
Asked for $2.
Did you hear that?
No, somebody's
No.
talking over you.
232 Monroe Avenue. I feel like a bingo caller.
Okay.
The bidder is Stephanie Akinbayi, Akin, maybe Liyi, $2,670.
You might ask Betsy if she can hear. You might ask Betsy if she can hear.
Can you hear that all right now, Betsy? Okay.
483 East Jackson Avenue.
483.
Yep.
East Jackson Avenue. Dave and Kathy Ziering. $3,300. $567 Jackson Avenue. Tria Eldridge,
Who was the first name?
TREA. $2,700. $69 East Second Street. Shaheen Hall, Shaheen Hall. $3,434.20.
I'm sorry. What was it?
$3,434.20.
20.
Yes. '54 North Lafayette. Susan Rylands, Rylands, $1,695.40. Sorry. 88 Ewing Street. Joan Schulte, Sholty, $2,500. $88 Ewing Street. Randall Badders, Badders, $2,100. $567 Jackson. Jessica Leslie, $2,660. $54 North Lafayette. Stephanie Graff, Graf, $1,696.
4,000?
$1,696. $104 East 8th Street. Stephanie Graff, Graf, $1,231. $106 East 8th Street. Stephanie Graff, $1,432. $219 East Main. Stephen Dunn, Dunn, $2,200. $214 Euclid. Randall Burke, Birk, $2,510.20. $483 Jackson Avenue. Wayne and Catherine Bunker, $3,160. 355 West 6th Street. Wayne and Catherine Bunker. $3,145. 219 East Main,
Is that 202, I'm sorry,
219
219?
East Main. Wayne and Catherine Bunker. $1,909.60. 69 East Second. Wayne and Catherine Bunker. $3,434.20. 622 West Second.
622.
Wayne and Catherine Bunker. $2,002. And that's all of them.
And just to make the board aware that some of these that had multiple bids on them will go back out for subsequent bids. Yep. They'll have another chance to bid again.
I'd make a motion that we accept the bids as presented to be reviewed for, if there's multiple bids, that we follow all the bidding process, and also to make sure that everyone bidding complies with Indiana Code 36-111-16 and any other rules or regulations that apply before awarding the bids.
Right, just to be clear that everyone needs to be eligible to bid on these, you have to also be eligible to be able to purchase at tax sale, meaning no properties with delinquent taxes, special assessments, and the like.
Do I have a
I made the
second?
motion.
Second.
Okay, motion been made that we take all the bids under advisement and accept the ones that have come in that are, make sure they all abide by the rules governing the bids. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next, we have a request under new business by Denise Bramer on behalf of the Miami County Child Abuse Council to have permission to tie blue bows on the light poles for the month of April 2021 for Child Abuse Awareness Month. This is something they normally do every year. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept Denise Bremer's request.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the request of the bows for the month of April. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Peru Circus on the next board of agenda for the parade route approval. The 2021 Circus Festival Parade is scheduled for July 24th at 10 a.m. Our circus parade will be the only circus parade in the United States. This letter is to submit the location and ask permission for the following. A, parade route starting at Wayne Street in Maine, moving west on Main to Broadway, turning south to Canal, and disbanding at Canal and Broadway. Subsection B, bleachers and flatbed trailers to be located at the corner of Main Street and Broadway and bleachers to extend 1 1/2 block east of Main Street. Setup for this on Main Street setup is scheduled for Friday, July 23rd at 8 p.m.
Excuse me, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.?
Well, I've got 8 a.m.
Okay.
is when they normally bring them in there.
Okay.
So,
Right, they normally start setting up that Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. instead of 8 p.m.
so. Staging area east and west of Wayne Street on Canal Street, Benton Street south from Main to Canal, Wayne Street from the bridge to the starting point of the parade, which is the corner of Main and Wayne. They also request that we require all vehicles to be moved from the route and staging areas by 6 a.m. on parade day. This has always been done in the past, and it allows us to have vehicles towed early that morning that do not comply. Thank you for your consideration in this matter and all the assistance the city provides every year to make this one of the finest events in the state of Indiana. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Contact number is 472-3918. Matt Chilcutt, Parade Vice President, and Ryan Sipe. Also, the Circus Board is requesting permission to block off the following streets to all traffic. Broadway from Main to 7th Street, 5th Street from Broadway to the bank parking lot, 5th Street from Broadway to Wabash Street, Court Street from Main to 5th, and 6th Street from the Moose Alley to Gabriel's. All of them will be blocked off July 18th at 6 a.m. through July 25th at 6 a.m. Fire lanes will be maintained as required by the Peru Fire Department. Communications will be maintained with both police and fire departments in preparation and during the festival. Look forward to working with the Board of Works to make the festival smoother yet. David Weeks, Festival Vice President. Up for discussion, do you guys see anything, any fire chief, police chief? There's nothing any different than it hadn't been every year. So, make a motion.
Yep, I make a motion that we grant the circus request for both items as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to grant both requests of the Peru Circus. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next order of business is communications. Betsy, do you have anything? Anybody in the Zoom audience have anything that they would like to say?
Mayor, there was,
Do what?
I just have a question about the bidding
Okay.
on the land. So if two people bid on the same land and one is higher than the other, and they both bid, or only one of them bids again, say I'm the highest and I bid again, and the other person doesn't bid, do I get it for my first bid or do I get it for my second bid?
it would be from the second bid.
Okay.
Yep.
And you'll send me a letter, like when I have to bid, or like can I just come in anytime after tonight and bid again?
There will be a letter that goes out to those individuals who bid on those properties who had individuals bid on those properties that received multiple bids. There will be a letter that goes out to them informing those individuals of what the highest bid was and allowing and inviting one more round of bids. And at that point, at that meeting, whoever provides the highest bid, which can't be lower than the previous, will win.
Okay, so like, say I bid 3,000 on it and they bid 2,500, and if they don't bid again, but I bid like 3,200, so I paid 3,200 for it, even though nobody else bid against me.
Yes, ma'am. It's just, unfortunately, that's how the state statute reads.
That's just what I wanted to know.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Stephanie Graff. I have a question. In regard to the state statute that's referenced, is that outlined on the page that outlined these properties? I'd like to read and understand, because I have been involved in this type of scenario before, and if there were two bids, the highest bid, the city put out there what the minimum bid could or should be that they would entertain. So I just want to read and understand how it's possible that if you had two bids and one was higher than the other, where both of them could be disallowed at this point, and the city can go back in and request additional bidding. So I heard you reference the state code. Is there some place I can go and look at that, or is it referenced on the page that's on the Peru City page? And thank you for your answer.
Ma'am, give me 1 second here. I can't recall which the statute off the top of my head, but I am pulling that up. I know it falls under 36-111, and depending on what type of property it was, because we invited bids for properties we acquired through tax sale, which has its own process, and also properties that were acquired through a quick claim deed, which is an entirely different process, and third properties with assessed values of $6,000 or more, which again is a different process in and of itself. So if you could reference a specific property, I'd be able to answer a question on that specifically. Otherwise, if it was acquired by quitclaim deed, it goes out to public bid under 36-111, I think 4.5 or 4.5 or 5. Let's see. Yeah, 36-11 or 36-111-5 states, paragraph H2, if one or more eligible abutting landowners submits an offer to purchase a tract, the other eligible abutting landowners who submit offers shall be informed of the highest offer received and shall be given an opportunity to submit one additional offer. The tract shall be sold to the eligible abutting landowner who submits the highest offer for the tract and who complies with the requirements under Section E.
Okay, so I want to be clear. That is what we're referencing in order to disallow the bids at this point and go out for a second time.
It's not to disallow the bids, ma'am. It's just an invitation for the bids. I mean, the bids are what they are. And to be eligible to do a second round of bid, you had to bid initially.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, anything else? Anything from the audience?
There was another message from Craig. I'm not sure who that is, but it says that the letter I received from the city states that the tract may be sold to the person with the highest bid. And again, the contingent on what type of property it is, how it was acquired, that may be true. Again, each property is specific, and to say which property it is, off the top of my head, I don't know which property he's talking about, so I can't answer that specific question. But if it's one that goes specifically to the abutting landowners, then yes, it could be so. Now, if it was 483 Jackson, you mind let me see that? So that one had an assessed value of over $6,000 or more. So that one would go to the adjacent property owners, or not to the, notice would be sent to the adjacent property owners. However, it'd go out for public bid, subject to a second round of bidding. And that would have been included in the notices.
And Stephanie Graff's was 54 North Lafayette.
No, we,
Is that the same situation?
54
Well, 54 North Lafayette,
was not.
technically, it went out to adjacent property owners because that one was acquired through a tax sale because it was an old demo property. Technically, it goes out for another round of bidding.
Well, since we're asking, is that the same for 104 and 106 on 8th Street?
If I'm not
There wasn't duplicate bids on
Yeah.
those.
I think there was only one bid on both of those, and that would then be awarded to the highest bidder, the only bidder.
And if I may, that was part of the reason that we have to review, because we have to go back and see which properties fell into which category,
Correct.
depending, and so
Yeah.
that's why nothing's being awarded tonight.
And to also make sure that all bidders are eligible
Correct.
per 36-111-16.
So it's possible that if we had, say, 2 bidders on a property tonight, but one of those bidders was found ineligible, then technically we only had 1 bid that would
Correct.
go ahead and get awarded. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, if they did not bid today, they can't bid again.
Correct.
They can't come back and bid later.
Right. But if they bid and they're ineligible, then their bid doesn't count
Correct.
as a bid. Okay.
The way the
What did
state,
you say?
the way the state sets the public disposal laws up is really a headache, and it's not conducive to being able to conduct business. But unfortunately, that's the process, and the process we have to follow.
So what did you say the eligibility was? You had to be up to date on your property taxes and all that?
Correct, and I will, just give me 1 second here, I'll pull that statute up specifically.
It's 36-111-16.
Right, a person who owes delinquent taxes, special assessments, penalties, interest, or costs directly attributable to a prior tax sale on a tract of real property issued are listed under 6-1.1-24, or a person who's an agent of that person, or trust, or anyone subject and owes delinquent taxes are ineligible to bid, simply put.
Okay, well, I have a question because my son is the one buying the land across the street from where I live. And he doesn't have any property taxes, but he lives with me for right now. So you would go off my property taxes, even though they're not in his name? 'Cause
No,
they're up to date and
Whoever the
everything.
bid-
No, it would go off his individual name. We would do a reference and a check on to the person who's acquiring, or who submitted the bid, check his name. If they don't owe delinquent taxes, then there's no issue.
Okay. Because, yeah, he's never owned any land. He's buying it to maybe put a small house on or something. But, okay.
All right, anything else? Fire chiefs? Police chief? Dustin?
No, sir.
Okay, seeing nothing else, we're up for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.